did we survive the 30-day no spend, low spend challenge? We are going to be talking about that today. Today marks day 31 of us doing this challenge together, guys. Congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, make sure that you treat yourself. We're going to talk about all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. So if you have been on this journey with us since January 1st, just know that it has been a challenge for me as well. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience, the challenges that I faced, the financial impact regarding this 30-day no spend, low spend challenge, the mindset shift, as well as lessons learned and future goals and adjustments that I personally will be making. And also I'm going to talk about the reward, because remember, we talked about having some type of reward at the end so that we can basically treat ourselves, reward ourselves for even thinking about starting this and sticking with it some kind of way. Even if we weren't able to finish out the challenge fully all the way because things came up, it's okay. You started it where many did not. So let's go ahead and talk about that. But first, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can get more content from me regarding budgeting, mortgage-free, side hustle, as well as saving content. And if you are a returning Bacon Bit Squad member, thank you guys so much for coming back and always leaving those comments in the comment section. I really, really appreciate you guys. So I have not done this before, and so this was my very first time doing it. I will say it was almost like a mental strain, because I have felt like January has been the longest month. I don't know, does it feel like that, or did it feel like that to anybody else? This has just been such a long month. I mean, for me at work, every week has seemed to drag on and on. And actually, there were less days in January that I attended work. I was really ready to wrap this challenge up after last week, if we're being honest, because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Even though I have been doing really well with this challenge, I was just kind of like, there's just a lot going on here. So with that being said, just emotionally and mentally, it was just a very long month for me. And leave in the comments below, did it feel that way for you guys as well? I will say there were some things overall that I did feel as far as like my body and overall health with eating more at home, because that was the thing for me. It was to not eat out for the month, which I'm going to show you guys how that went for me. I did eat out a little bit, but I'll show you that. And also to have a low spend month, which I really feel like I achieved. There were some things that came up, but I mean, they were out of my control, like vehicle repair. So, there was nothing that I could really do about that. I had to get my vehicle fixed. But overall, with not eating out the way that I was previously and not spending money on that food, I was less bloated overall. I felt better overall. I think I may even have lost some inches, and there was also less cravings. Overall, the experience was good. It wasn't just financial, but it was health-wise also the reason why I wanted to do the 30-day no spend, low spend challenge, and specifically for not eating out. Let's talk about the challenges that I faced, and share below if you had any of these challenges or any challenges at all during this no spend, low spend. So the challenges that I faced were, I was supposed to be going to a baby shower, and I felt bad because I ended up opting to not go due to, obviously, there was going to be food at the baby shower, and I was trying not to eat out, and I was just trying to eat at home and all this stuff. So that was a little bit of a challenge for me, as well as sometimes I just didn't want to cook because I am used to going out to eat at least once or twice a week, especially on the weekends. That's like the time that I get a break. I was like, I really don't want to cook, but I was like, I'm doing this challenge, so I have to basically like stick with it. So those were definitely two challenges that stuck out. I ended up not going to the baby shower, but some other things happened anyway with my vehicle, so I was like, I didn't want to chance it. So yeah, those were the two challenges that I had. Now let's talk about the third thing, which is the financial impact, okay? So typically I would spend about $100 or more on eating out. Total I spent on me for eating out was $32. That was it. So that was a savings of, and let's just go ahead and look and see. That was a savings of $68. To go from 100 plus to 32 is actually really, really good. And I'll show the breakdown of that. And let's talk about the mindset shift, which is number 4. Definitely, I would have been more mindful what I'm spending at the grocery store, because obviously I've had to step up as far as making that meal plan, making that grocery list. And I have to really think about, well, what is it that I want to get from the grocery store? What is it that I need to get from the grocery store? And also sticking with the plan and the budget that I have. Now, I did know that there was a possibility that I was going to go over my grocery budget, especially because of the fact that I shopped at Walmart a lot more for the month of January than what I typically and normally do. Mostly I'm an Aldi girl, and I'm sticking with Aldi for about 90% of everything that I purchase. But this month, because I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to get in real quick. I know what I want. I can go through self-checkout. It was Walmart that won over Aldi. So I did spend quite a bit more for groceries. I still have to tally that up. So that will be in the January recap of my budget for the second half of January, from January 15th through January 31st. You will see that combined with the February budget with me video. So make sure you check that out. I did spend a little bit more, but like I said, I did save as well. So just being more mindful of what I'm putting in the cart, what I'm putting in my body, what am I eating, what meals I'm making, and all of those things. Number 5, lessons learned. I'm an emotional eater. And there was a couple times this month where I was like, I want a snack, or I want something else, or I actually want to go out and get something, okay? I want something outside of my own household. So really, this has made me much more disciplined with tracking, again, my finances and how much that my grocery bill should be. Because now I see that, you know what? I've been underestimating how much I actually need to spend for groceries, especially if I don't just stick with one grocery store like what I did in the past. It's made me much more mindful, and the lesson learned is, okay, I can track my expenses, because before I was not tracking any of my expenses. So this is the first month in a very long time. I mean, quite some time, probably like well over a year or two, where I have literally tracked everything that I have spent for the month. And it was eye-opening, especially, to see, okay, well, I may need to put more in this category or pull back a little in this category regarding things that I spend and things that I need. That has been a good lesson for me, as well as knowing that, hey, you're an emotional eater. So at times when you are emotional, you need to find a different outlet in order to release those emotions instead of trying to eat them away. I would highly suggest that you find an accountability partner that you can do check-ins with and journal your highs and your lows, and just to keep you accountable, and also just to help you. This may be very challenging for you, especially if you are not used to not spending or low spending. I would definitely set a plan, some goals for myself regarding this. Not do all 30 days, but possibly just maybe do 2 weeks, just so you can get used to it, instead of jumping in and then you're overwhelmed and you're like, I can't do this. And then also just being mindful that things happen, things occur. I mean, I literally had a vehicle repair job that was $425. And that was for a leak that was coming from my power steering. I had talked about it before in previous videos that I have a leak and I'm probably going to have to get that fixed. And I did. It was a $425 expense that I had that I was not really expecting. I mean, I was expecting, but not really expecting it. So that was a cost and something that happened, as well as others have stated, hey, this has happened during the month and I'm just feeling off track and I'll just start a different month. And that is okay too. If you need to start the no spend, low spend challenge on a different month that works better for you, because hey, there's just a lot going on, that is perfectly okay. Give yourself the grace, give yourself time in order to wrap your head around everything that's going on, because life comes at us very, very fast and it does not stop, in order to figure out what your next move is for your no spend, low spend, or however else that you want to take it. Now let's talk about future goals and adjustments that I have. For the month of February, I will be spending. It will be a little bit of a spending month. I'm supposed to be getting a new laptop. I'm still debating if I'm going to get that in February or if I'm just going to hold off and wait just a little bit longer for that. But something that I will be doing in February that I'm going to be focused more on is self-care. So I will be spending money for that. And I do have money set aside in different sinking funds that I can use for myself. I actually have a self-care binder that I have been saving in for the last couple of months, and I have quite a bit saved up in there. So I do plan on saving for a massage, a pedicure, also to get my hair done, but I do still plan on being mindful of eating out. Not necessarily cutting it out like how I did this time, because I do feel like I went super restricted without putting some, some leeway or some guidelines in there where it was like, okay, don't feel super bad, if you get a pretzel from Auntie Anne's, do you consider that eating out? Or are we saying eating out is like an actual full meal of like a burger, fries with a drink? So that's where for next time when I choose to do this, I will have to say, okay, is it this or is it this? And how many days are we doing it? Because I just said for the full month, but that may not be, necessarily realistic. Definitely I will be spending for the month of February, but not too crazy, but it's money that's already has been allocated and in sinking funds. I want to hear from you, and I want you to tell me exactly how your no spend, low spend month went. Let me know in the comments section the good, the bad, the ugly, things that maybe you would adjust for next time. Also, let me know if you were following along with me this entire time. This was a series that I did, so there's about 4 or 5 videos in this playlist, so you can always look back at these videos, even if you didn't join us in the month of January, to see some of the things that I talked about. I provided 8 tips regarding the no spend, low spend challenge in order to keep yourself motivated and to not become discouraged while you are on this challenge. Remember, we wanted to make this challenge fun. We wanted to make it something that you would be able to do, something that's attainable, not something that was going to stress you out, because what fun was that? All right. And then also, we also talked about a reward. So my reward, as I told you guys, is BJ's Brew House, and that is getting a steak from there. So I will be partaking in that as well here in the month of February. Even though we're in January, I'm just going to say here in the month of February. And so I will be enjoying that because that was my treat. So let me show you guys on the tracker that I received from Britt at Plan Your One Life, because she is also in on this collab. She is the one that invited myself as well as Tara from Journey to Wisdom and Wealth in order to collab with her on this no spend, low spend challenge. Make sure that you go over to their channels and show them some love and watch how they ended up for their no spend, low spend January, and see exactly how they did and the tips and all of the things that they have. Here it is. Look how I did, guys. Do you see all those red circles? That means that I did not spend on eating out. I literally only had 4 times this month. Well, 5 if you want to count that, but let's just go over it. So on the 4th, I got a pretzel from Auntie Anne's. On the 9th, I had Subway that was catered by my job. And then on the 11th, I had a slice of pizza that I didn't spend my money on, but it was brought inside the house. On the 16th, I did have Chick-fil-A for lunch because I was running late that day and I didn't have time to grab any lunch or anything. And then on the 19th, I had Einstein Bagel, and I treated my kids to that as well. And then on the 23rd, I had an egg and cheese croissant breakfast sandwich. But other than that, nothing else. Everything else, I brought my lunch, I brought my breakfast, I brought snacks. I was not going anywhere to go out to eat and spend my money. So that is where the money that I did spend, that's where it went pretty much. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful I was able to do this challenge. And although it was a little bit of a challenge for me, it definitely was worth it. And I was able to persevere and, keep going on it. And as far as the low spend, I did good on that as well. Like I said, I'll have a breakdown for that in the budget for February. Budget with me, and the small recap of what happened for those last 2 weeks of January. If you happen to enjoy this video and you would like more content, as I stated before, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. It helps YouTube push this video out to more individuals that like to see this content. And if you so want to, you can go ahead and share this content as well. Until the next video, bye.